Hey everyone, what we're going to do today is a crappie jig. And before I get started, I just want to clear some things up. And the main thing is the comment section. If you leave a comment and it gets deleted, it is not me doing it. We were doing very well for a while there, and now all of a sudden YouTube is starting to delete more and more comments. So if you happen to leave a comment, it gets deleted. Know that it's not me. And I know there's some people that haven't looked in the the description box, but my email is in there. It's smalljaw67@gmail.com. So if your comment gets deleted and it's something that you really needed to ask me, you can go to my email address and leave a message there. I will get back to you, I promise. Give it a couple days, though, in case I get backed up. Some days I have 100 emails, some days I have none. So I will get back to you. Just give me some time. So now that I got that out of the way, this crappie jig is going to be real simple today, and it's not my design. It's something I got from Crazy Angler. My buddy tried it out. He's an avid crappie and panfish guy, and he called me up and asked me for 2 dozen of these when I made them for him the first time. So I ordered some more of this material. It's different. And this crappie jig I call the Doctor, and that's because of the chenille, which is a color. It's a new age chenille called Witch Doctor. It's like a powder blue, and there's mylar shimmer in it that's iridescent. So you get like green and gold and silver. It's a really good color. And what I did was on the Crazy Angler website, they recommend using that with a black tail and a black head. And that's all I did. I took their suggestion, went with it. And according to my buddy, it's a killer pattern. So that's what we're going to do. Now I'm going to take some 140 denier black flat wax nylon thread. The jig is a 1/16 ounce do it freestyle head with a number 4 Matzuo sickle hook. And we'll get our base started. Yeah, I actually found some. I have little nasties and I have some old stock Matsuos that I found mixed in with them, so I'm going to use those up. So I'm going to get my base started. I went down here just right to where that bend starts, right before it, the top of the hook shank there. And I wrap my thread down and go all the way back up, because we're going to use a feather tail. I'm not good with these, but I found a way that actually works for me. Now when you have your jig oriented like this in the vise with the bottom facing up, I have my feather here. This is a tip, and I have it that it's going to curve up towards the top. I think it looks better that way. I think it acts better in the water. I messed with it both ways, and this is the way I like doing it now. And the other thing we're going to add to these are the V's that are common in crappie circles. So I take my tip, and I already have this measured out, so I cut them to length, but I have it that it's about 1.25 to 1.5 inches past the bend of the hook. Some people like longer tails, some like shorter, but if you're in that range, you're good to go. Now, I know a lot of people, and myself included, I've tried to do it where you put the V's together and sandwich them in and tie them in, and I'm not good with it that way. I struggle. So what I found is if I do it this way, if I take my tip and get my tip tied in, and I could take one of these V's, and when I lay these V's on here, I want it that they're just a little bit shy at the very end, maybe about 3/4 of the way up. I could tie one of those V's in like this, Make sure I wrap it that it's down. And then I flip it around. And I take my second V. And I lay that on the underside. And I tie it in like that. And now I have a pretty decent tail. I know it's not the way most crappie guys do it, but for me, it kind of works. Because what happens to me is they always spin around and I'm struggling trying to get the feathers straight. And but this way I can wrap them really tight and I'm not struggling to try to keep them together. All I got to do is try to keep the barbs from getting tangled up really bad, from going to two different directions. But that's easier than trying to hold the feathers in place. So now my tail's in. I went a couple rounds up here on the hook shank with the thread just to make sure my feather will not pull out. And it's a durable deal. And now I'm going to take some polar flash. This is Black Rainbow Polar Flash. And what I did was I cut 2 strands in half. So I take half of the 2 strands on one side and I tie it in all the way to the end of the feather, as long as I don't get tangled up here. Can even go a little past. I like doing that. And I'm going to take 2 other strands and put it on the other side. Same way. You can also use like the Black Pearl Crystal Flash. That's a good one. And now our flash is tied in, nice and tight. And we're going to go for our chenille. And I'm just going to pull the ends of that off as normal. If anybody's seen any of my crappie jigs, you all know I do that. Tie it in by that cord rather than laying it across. I just think it's neater that way, but it doesn't really make a big difference. Do it whatever way you're more comfortable. And I'm going to start doubling my wraps because I want that little bit of a taper on the body. I think it looks more natural that way. To me it does. Let's trap it. Trim our chenille. And I'm going to whip finish it. Cinch it. 1, 2, 3, 4. You don't need any more than that. And I know a lot of times I stop putting head cement on my crappie jigs, but a lot of people expressed concern over it, so I'm going to take some Loon water-based head cement and just hit a little bit and let that go in, and we're good. That's the end of the jig. It's real easy. And wait, you see this when I take it out here and show you what we have. That is the doctor. That's what I call it. It's the witch doctor color, though. This looks good in the tank, and the tank test will be coming up shortly. I got to do a little bit of cleaning and add some water to it. You get that evaporation, and in a small room with the heater on. So, but there it is. Do this in 1/32 ounce too. The next crappie jig I do will be a 1/32 ounce with a size 6 hook. But there's the Doctor. Real simple, real easy, and again, I haven't tried it, but according to my friend, and based on the fact that he asked me to do 2 dozen more for him, it's got to be good. So give it a try. Let me know what you think. Thanks for watching.